So, one thing we touched on yesterday, and maybe this is why the live stream ended up being cut, but we were talking about these hurricane relief efforts, everything going on, and the government's response in terms of FEMA and money. And I'll tie this into crypto at the end. So, what we've been seeing around the world and here at home is that politicians value war and value destruction of other nations more than they value their own citizens, right? That's just been proven over the past year, I'd say, right? Not only do we have all-time high homelessness, we have all-time high drug use, we have all these different factors that you can measure quality of life in us, in people. Unemployment's another one, right? So not only are those all-time high under our current administration, but also you have these wars that are being funded every single day. I saw over $80 billion to Ukraine this year alone, right? But we have cities like Asheville, North Carolina, that literally just got wiped off the map. It doesn't exist anymore. And what does our government do for them? Offers them a $750 loan, right?
Loan.
To get their immediate needs, right? Water, food. Your dog just got literally swept away. You need all this
you need
stuff.
a new dog.
Yeah, all this stuff just happened, and right, you need to pay for cleaning to come clean your house up that just got destroyed, right? So it's clear that they have prioritized other foreign relations over the American citizens. Okay, that's fine. You want to go that route, you're not going to get voted into office, this next election. I can't see it happening personally. So how's this tie into crypto? Elon Musk wants to come up with the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
Doge. Oh.
Doge. It's a Dogecoin if you guys don't know.
Yeah.
So what is that going to do? That is going to clean and trim all the fat off of this excess government spending, and it might actually give us a chance to turn the industrial industry back into a positive note for America. Because in America, we have seen, we talked about this yesterday, a decay in our progress of building new roads, building bridges, building new towns, doing all this different stuff that actually makes lives better for people. Irrigation, new farms, new piping to get water from a clean water source to a new town, right? All this stuff has come to a halt. And I think one project that I would like to see done in America, and it hasn't been done under the current budgets and things that we work on, is high-speed rail. There's no reason why we shouldn't have high-speed rail going across the plains of America, 600 miles an hour, and you could get from Los Angeles to New York in maybe 5-6 hours, right? Maybe you take a stop in St. Louis or in Dallas, Texas, right, for a couple hours, pick up more people, and you go. But this is something that I think has to be done. And I saw, I don't know, I think I sent this to you, or maybe I sent it to someone else that lives in Pittsburgh, but there's a new train from Chicago to Columbus, Ohio to Pittsburgh and down all the way down the eastern seaboard and going down to Miami. So that's a Brightline train, I think it's called, or it's part of Amtrak. But those are projects that we want to see get done and that we want to see invested to. We don't want to see billions and billions of dollars going overseas to fight wars.
So, and as you're saying that, I'm thinking to myself too, when was the last time did you see America do something fantastic infrastructure-wise or build-wise in the United States, right? We had our big one, whenever it happened, was the Empire State Building, right? Empire State Building used to be the tallest building in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So that was look at what we were able to create with all this money and wealth that we've accumulated as a nation. We don't do any of that anymore. Our infrastructure is old. It's starting to fail. Our cities are old. You can tell in Pittsburgh and these other cities that I visit. These are old cities. These cities were built in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Like, these aren't new cities, and you can tell. You look at a place in the Middle East like Dubai. Dubai is a prosperous place. You can tell they're prospering. You can tell they're innovating. You can tell they're trying to do fantastic feats of human feats. They're built the biggest building in the fucking world. They built these they literally created beaches and property in the desert, and just so many. They got ski resorts where they make their own snow. It's in the middle of the desert. They're people fucking. They got full mountains in over there. They're creating their own weather. It's just they're doing fantastic things as a nation. They're innovating. They're pushing forward. They're trying to be the best. They're trying to flex their power. That's a healthy thing for a nation. That's a growing nation. That's a prosperous nation. In the US, we can't even do that because we can't get past the fucking litigation and the rules and regulations that we've set in place that have so constricted and confined the companies that would even want to do something like that. Elon talks about it in California. You can't do anything in California for years just from all the paperwork and regulations and approvals and licenses you got to get to be able to do anything. That's why he had to move to Texas. Say you can't even accomplish anything in California. How can you build anything when it takes you 2 years just to get approval to build it? Why would you want to restrict your own nation and your own progress with so many rules and regulations? Rules and regulations are constrictive. Okay. Do you need some rules and regulations to a degree? Sure. But over time, we've accumulated so many rules and regulations in our nation that it's now inhibiting the progress of the nation. That's not healthy. That's in spite of our own selves.
So I wanted to look up a number here. How much GDP has California lost over the past couple years? I just wanted to see this just amount. How much money, GDP money has California lost?
I mean, at this
So
point,
I know it's going to be a big number. So, well, it says here that they're 45 billion over their budget for
they
let's
missed
see it.
they missed the mark by a bit. 45 billion over budget.
Yeah, but I don't see anything about GDP decreases. But
That's
I'll find that number another time. But that was just something that popped in my head because yeah, you see major corporations. I think it all started kind of with COVID, and California had very strict COVID laws, and with that, they also have a lot of big in Silicon Valley, San Francisco. They had a lot of tech companies there, right? So when the tech companies went remote for COVID, it left all these big office buildings, to think of, for anyone who's never been to San Francisco, think of New York City style skyscrapers that were left empty. And all these people that lived in Silicon Valley, California, San Francisco, they went remote work. So what did they do when they were able to go remote work? They moved out of the state and went to states that were cheaper out west, like Arizona, like Colorado, like South Dakota, North Dakota, Idaho. They moved all around there because one, they're rich. If you live in Silicon Valley, California, you make a lot of money. So their money was going a lot farther in those places. So they moved out and they never went back. And what you can see in San Francisco now is that these big skyscrapers are empty. They can't get tenants. And the stores at the bottom of these skyscrapers are being looted, robbed by people in the streets, just the low income people that are just trying to, I guess, survive. A lot of criminals, but there's also a lot of homelessness that try to survive. So not only are they in a huge deficit because no businesses want to go back there. We look at X, Twitter, formerly Twitter, moved out now in Austin, Texas. All these other companies are moving out of there. So this is the game you play. It's like the chessboard. Like, where do you want to invest your money? Definitely not in California. It's been one of the worst. You want to go somewhere that's more of a safe haven, and that's going to be easier to build a business.
In California, it's quite literally legal. It's legal to steal things under $1,000. That they don't stop you. This is a real thing in California.
If you have less than $1,000 and you get caught, it's just a ticket. They'll fine you for what you have worth on it. You think they pay those fines? No. But you can't even go to jail if you don't have more than $1,000 on you.
So it's just the clown world that they've created over there, unfortunately, because it's the greatest state in the country naturally, weather-wise, beautiful, but they've ruined the state because they have the woke mind virus. I went to Los Angeles not too long ago, And you can feel how fantastic the place is, just the look of it. It makes sense why it was so famous, why it was so fantastic, etc. But then you see some of the things and the people there, and you realize, oh yeah, this is a failing society. It's a declining society. It's not an up and coming, bright lights, people moving there, people excited, etc. Yeah, the state got fucking decimated because these people don't, their minds don't work. They don't operate in reality. And so, you think about these things, how you literally, it's not illegal to steal things. That's one thing. They made it illegal to do memes, political memes in California, because Gavin Newsom got his butt hurt because they made an AI video about him, little pussy. And so now he made it illegal, essentially freedom of speech, which is obviously against the Constitution. That's a huge problem. Elon's over there saying this is nobody realizing how fucking insane this is. He made it illegal to make memes of him and political memes. So it's a failing society. So again, so when we say don't be tied to a physical location, this is what we're saying. You don't want to be trapped in a place like that when your goal is to get out, be free, make as much money as possible, be a sovereign individual, but you have a 30-year mortgage on a home that you can barely pay, and now you can't sell it. So you're stuck. You're stuck in that situation, and then you've wasted your entire life trying to pay off of that loan, and it's over now. By the time you pay off that loan, your life is over. So this is why you need to stay sovereign and free as much as humanly possible until you get yourself into a position where money's no longer an issue. And then you can just do whatever the fuck you want. That's ideally the goal, right?